Good morning, guys, girls. Welcome to Sunday Youth Online. Um, I wanted to share a verse with you this morning that I'm totally excited about. I have been doing a lot of thinking recently about just about life in general and listening to the news and spending some time on social and just just thinking about where we're at in the world and thinking about how things like what's going on in the United States and what's going on in Canada and watching the news can be really depressing actually, to be quite honest, at times. And so I was just thinking about different things that are going on, and I found a verse in the Bible. It came to mind, and I looked it up, and I thought, wow, you know what? I'm really excited about that verse, and I want to share it with my friends on Sunday. So here I am. We're going to Revelation this morning, the book of Revelation. You're like, oh no, Steve's going Revelation. Oh no, strap in. This is going to be really intense. Well, it could be. Parts of the Revelation narrative are hard to follow, but this verse isn't hard to follow. And I found it just so encouraging, and I hope this morning that it encourages you. It's in Revelation chapter 5 and verse 9. Revelation 5 and verse 9, and this is what it says. And they sang a new song. That's pretty cool. This world is full of songs, and some of them are new, and some of them are really old. This is a new song. No one's ever heard this song before, sung in heaven. And they sung a new song, and they said, "Worthy are you," or Jesus, "to take the scroll," and it's a whole other story further on in the chapter. But that's not what I wanted to focus on. Worthy are you to take the scroll and to open its seals. For you were slain, and that just means you were put to death, you were killed. And by your blood, you ransomed or bought back people for God. But here's the exciting part that I want to share with you this morning. From every tribe and language and people and nation. Do you know why I'm excited? Because this book here has the answer to what's going on in the world today. What's going on in the world today is a lot of division, actually. Let's read that verse again, and then we'll talk about it for a few minutes, okay? So let's just dwell on the last part of the verse, but I'll read the whole thing. And they sang a new song, saying, "Worthy are you to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain, and by your blood you ransomed people for God from every tribe and language and people and nation. And you have made a kingdom of priests to our God, and they shall reign on the earth." That's verse 10. But just it's the latter part of verse 9 that I want to focus on this morning. And why is this verse important to me? Well, I heard some people on social media, and they gave an answer to the race question that's coming up a lot. They gave an answer, and I was kind of really saddened by their answer, to be honest. Their answer is, and I've heard a lot of people say this, well, you know, I'm colorblind when it comes to different people of different nationalities and different languages and different tribes and different tongues. I'm colorblind. And some people may go, "Oh, that's so nice. They don't see color. That's so nice." Really? Really though? So let's think of that for a second. I have some friends, I know some folks who are actually colorblind. And one gentleman works downtown Toronto, and Um, he works well, I don't know what he's doing right now, but he works in an office downtown Toronto in an insurance company, and um, every day when he goes into work, he wears a business suit and tie and shirt and stuff like that. But he's colorblind, 100% colorblind. He lives his life in gray, different tones and hues of gray, but he lives his life in gray. And I was talking to him one time and said, "What's that like?" And he said, "Well, you know what? Without my wife partnering with me and helping me to pick a shirt and a tie and a suit each day, and without my closet being coded by the different colors in different places, and I just have to know this shirt goes with that, but I still ask." He said, "It's man, it's without that I'd be lost," and it's actually terrible to be colorblind. And so I'd like to suggest to you today that that's not the answer to the problems the world is having, to tell everyone just to be colorblind. I'd like to suggest to you today, based on this verse, heaven's going to be full of diversity and full of colors. I would like to suggest to you today that, well, so I was thinking about this. Have you ever seen a kaleidoscope? Do you know what that is? So you look into it and you peer into it and you turn it maybe, or just you look different ways, and it's fragmented inside in such a way that everything that it captures, everything that it captures in its viewfinder is presented in a wonderful kaleidoscope of colors. It's just beautiful, and it's mesmerizing. I would like to suggest here today that instead of you and I in Oxford County trying to live our lives colorblind, that's not the answer. I think I would like to suggest today that we embrace God's creation, and God's creation includes a fantastic kaleidoscope of colors. It would be boring if we were all the same color. I'd be bored. If we all looked the same, if we all spoke the same, if we were all the same color, if we were all the same skin tone, I would be totally bored out of my tree. But I suggest that I want you to think about today, and that's what I'm doing. I'm asking you to think today about the kaleidoscope of color that God's created in people. Just as God's creation is astoundingly amazing in all sorts of things, I want you to think of the color of our skin as one of those amazing things that God created. He doesn't just paint in a single color. He's not monochromatic, and he doesn't just paint in different tones of the same color, in different shades of the same color. When he expresses his creativity, it's an explosion of color. Look outside at anything that God has created, and you'll see an explosion of color. And thankfully, he's actually done that with us humans as well, and it's so cool. A number of years ago, there used to be a company, I don't even know if they're around anymore, come to think of it. There used to be a company called Benetton, and they were a clothing company. So they created jeans and shirts and sweatshirts and tank tops and you name it. They were a design, a fashion company. And their advertisement celebrated the diversity of colors in our skin tones, and they called it the United Colors of Benetton. The United Colors of Benetton. And I remember those ads. It was one of the first times that I paid attention as a teenager to advertisement. one of the very first times, and I loved their ads. They were so creative and colorful, and the shirts that they would display and the pants and whatnot. It wasn't all about the shirts, but each model that they picked, each person, individual that they picked to model their clothes, displayed God's color scheme as well. And they were fantastic ads. And the thing about it, I was thinking about, they actually nailed it. They said the United Colors of Benetton. Well, I'd like to tell you this morning and just focus on, in this short talk, the United Colors of Heaven. It's absolutely fantastic that the Bible records for us here that in the future, heaven is not black and white. Heaven is not gray, and it's not monochromatic, but it's full of different nations, languages, people, tribes. It's full of color. So it's really hard for us here as we live in Oxford County that's predominantly one color, but thankfully that's changing, right? But it's really easy for us to get settled in our own way and just think about life that way among people that look like us, among people that have the same skin tone as us. But I want to encourage you today to think about this verse, think about heaven, and think about the opportunities that you have to have friends, and as you grow up, colleagues and co-workers that are of different tribes, different languages, different people from different nations. And I challenge you to think about the fact that that is exactly what heaven is going to look like. And that's really exciting. That's really exciting. You know, as you guys form friendships, as you guys look for people to hang around with at school and to hang around with online and to just be friends with, there are so many criteria that you guys will be looking for, right? Is the person nice to me? Is the person nice to other people? Is the person polite? Do we like the same things? Are they friendly? Do they curse and swear a lot? Is that the type of person I want to be around? Etc., etc., etc. Do they like the same things I like? So many different criteria that you and I use to filter our friends. I want to encourage you today that color should never be one of those filters. We should never filter who our friends are based on how they sound, where they're from, what they look like, the color of their skin. Never, ever, ever. Because God doesn't do that. There's no filter with God. Let me leave you with this verse one more time, and then I'll let you get about your week, and I hope it's a good one. By your blood you ransomed people for God from every tribe and every language and people and nation. Guys, I want you to think about that verse this week. Look forward to seeing you on Monday for Junior Youth Online. Get together and Google Meet every Monday. Look forward to seeing you there. But I just encourage you to go about this week with that verse in your mind and think about God's kaleidoscope of color and how amazingly creative He is and what He has blessed us with, the world that He has blessed us with. And I want you guys to think about your friends as well, and never to make color a criteria for a friend.